Today's card project features the coolest products from Concord at Ninth, and sometimes just following what's on the package makes card making so much easier. Let's take a look. For this card project, I'm going to use this really fun XO Quilt Top Dies set from Concord and Ninth. It gives you the ability to create this very cool look, and I'm going to show you how cool this packaging is, because if you're ever stuck for ideas, always look on the back of packaging, right? I flipped this over and I'm like, okay, Concord's already picked great colors: ballet slippers, poppy, sea glass, and sorbet. So you know what? I'm going to follow this to the T. Now I am going to have some fun with my greeting, but we'll do that when we get to it. So let's get started with die cutting. The first thing I'm going to do is tape this into place on a US A2 panel of white cardstock. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to cut this out with the stitched layer and pop it up, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this out using my Gemini Junior. And for my Gemini plate setup, I use 2 clear plates and 2 green double-sided die plates. I tape these together, and then I cut into 1 plate. Now, I accidentally was playing around and cut into a plate that I wasn't supposed to. I like to keep one very clean and clear. Once this gets super cut, I untape it, flip the green over, retape, and this has been a really great plate setup for me. All right, that looks pretty even, I think. Well, you know what? Let's try it. Let's get it a little bit straighter. Now that I'm looking at it on camera, I realize we're off a little. So again, let's make sure that we're putting it where it needs to be, which is the X's and O's. Wait, is that? No, there we go. Okay. That would have made a difference. Okay, framing it nicely, tape, and hold it and tape. All right, I'm gonna run that through at an angle. I'll flip it so that it's blade side up, run that through my machine. I have my machine on a rotating design board. This is actually from Totally Tiffany, and it comes with a big clip. You just unclip the clip and you have a fantastic, nice, lazy Susan for a large piece of equipment like a Gemini. All right, let's see how this looks. Hopefully my tape did not impress in a weird way. Oh, that is beautiful. See those lovely little dots that came in there? I'm going to set this aside for now. Next, I will take this and cut a bunch of the little pieces out of my colors of cardstock. And again, what I'm not sure is I may just trim this panel down a little bit and not even use the stitch die, because I like the idea that this would be at the top of my panel and my greeting could dip down. So let me go ahead and get a bunch of these cut out so we can piece this all together. I've got my pieces cut out, but I am going to trim this down ever so slightly. Now the size of this die is, this is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I think this will work. Let me see, I might need to go up a size, but I think I can get in nice and tight. And you can see once I trim this out, it'll just have a narrower margin for my design. And then I can pop it onto a card base, and I think that's going to be very cute. So let me tape that into place. I don't want it to shift. And I'll go ahead and, yeah, that looks good. Trim that out. All right, I'll go ahead and cut that out, and then we'll start gluing on pieces. I've trimmed it down, I've taped it into place, and I'm going to put some music on so that I can get all of these pieces assembled, and I'm just going to use a little liquid glue. This is Connect Glue from Gina K to add everything to the panel. Let's go. So that's the first layer done, and I'm going to go ahead off camera and just repeat this with the same colors to build up just a tiny bit of dimension so we have it popped up just a little bit on the card. Once I do that, we'll move on to choosing a greeting. I've got the second layer on for dimension, and I did cut enough to do more layers. So that's the thing, you just kind of have to decide how much do you want this to be raised up. I think 2 is plenty, so I'm going to just put a brick on this and really let those adhere. Then we'll start on our greeting. This is kind of fun for the greeting, and sometimes this is what I do in design. You've got this big dominant design at the top, right, that takes up 2 of the thirds. So imagine this panel is divided into thirds. You take a small greeting for the bottom of your third, and it just kind of filters down here. I actually think I'm gonna do this because I think this is so cute. So let me take this love. Just want to get the positioning about right, right? And this is just from another die set from Concord and Ninth. And you know, it can be a little askew. Come down a little here. Let's get that into position. I think I want it. Oh, I love it. I love the simplicity of it. And I'm going to stack 2 together, but I think it's sometimes easier on something like this to put them down first and then stack on top. I'm going to place our love there. Release, press, and pick up the ya and repeat. Try to keep, you know, the spacing about the same here, like that. And now all I'm going to do is put a little more glue on each of these letters and pop on 1 more layer for dimension. This is just nice this way because you know they're in place and now they're just going to be there, and you can easily pop the other layer down. You can add as many layers as you like. I think 2 layers of cardstock is great for this project, but again, you can always build it up. Okay, line that up. Wiggle it into place like that. And any glue that seeps out, of course, will dry clear. All right, like that. So easy to line up and press. All right, let me grab a card base so we can finish out this project. I actually think a poppy, the same red note card, would be great. There's several reasons. One, it reinforces the theme of love, right? But also, it also picks up in a triad. You have 1, 2, and 3. So 3 different ways of using red on the card. Totally makes sense. It's basically a visual triangle. So let me make the note card here. This is a piece of 11" by 4 1/4 poppy cardstock from Concord and Ninth. I'm going to score this right at 5 1/2. Fold that down. That's our note card. And I always use my Teflon bone folder, especially with darker cardstocks, because a Teflon bone folder does not leave any kind of a sheen on your paper. So now we have our note card. Let me get some foam tape on the back of this. I put foam tape on the back from Altenew. It's a really nice all-purpose tape, and I'm going all in because, you know, sometimes you just want to support your design when you've put this much work into it. And another thing I've been doing more and more lately is a single little strip of glue just for that little bit of wiggle room while I try to position my note card properly on the card base. Pardon my head if it gets in the way. We'll just frame that out like that. Oh, love it. Love it. Okay, over a little and mount that down. To finish this card off, I took the little tiny hearts that are part of this die set, and I took little leftover bits of pink here, And I think this arrangement of 3 is kind of nice. Again, we've got this triangular connection, and even though these 2 are on red and this, I guess I could do that. I could do that. Then each one is on a different color, but part of me just likes the spacing. But you know what? I actually think that's really cool. So I am going to add these onto this piece, and then I will also glue a little extra. So you see what's happening with the design. We're getting a little contrast from each one, and each heart is going to be on a different color in this scheme. So let's pick this up real quick, and I'm just going to do these right in the center. Just a bead is all I need. Oh, let's wipe that away. That went in the wrong place. Love that you can just wipe it right up. There we go. Just a little bead, and position that like that. Also, it's kind of nice with these picks because if you do want to scrape away any glue, you can. But you can also just sort of manipulate your little friend into the perfect position. Like that. Again, I'm not too worried about oozing glue, but I usually just wipe it away. It's probably why I have sticky fingers a lot, because I'm always wiping away glue. But isn't that cute? And yeah, you can just use this to move about. So just let that set for a second, and then I'll go ahead and add the next layer. Just added a little more glue, and we'll just position that on top and wiggle that into place. So that just gives you a little extra dimension. Again, everything on here is in 2 layers. And that just made sense to do these as well. Oh, so cute. And always make sure too that your die cut is facing the right way. It's pretty easy to tell, right? Because they have sort of almost a curved down look. A little edge, like that, like that. Looks great. And again, let it set until it's perfectly adhered. That's a look at the finished card project, but one thing you could do if you wanted to step it up, I don't do this very often, but I just grabbed my Wink of Stella pen. It's in the clear, and you can just color over lightly over your hearts to add a layer of shimmer. Just go lightly, and you'll really only see it in the light when it hits just right, but it's kind of cool, and it's like so easy to do. And because these are popped up, you won't even get any on the cardstock below. So just a little swipe, and it's that little extra touch to finish out the card project. Let's zoom in here so you can see that shimmer. Now there's just a little shimmer on those hearts. And that's the finished card project. You can find links to all of the products I used in today's video in the YouTube description box. If you're not a subscriber, I would love to have you, so be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you back here with another card project soon. If you like clean and simple designs, check out these 2 thumbnails below for more ideas, and I'll see you in those videos.